films like this. I love things where you're fighting for the good of mankind and all that cool stuff. So when you got the script, what was it about your character, Josie, that you liked?
First of all, I love strong characters like guys like Josh's character, and I appreciate heroes like that, but I need to see vulnerability. At least me as an audience, like I'm never gonna believe in these like, oh, all about the good and all the I'm just all strength and mystique and I'm just so mysterious and I do it all good. I love being that little like weakness, but in the good side. Like I love bringing the emotion, the connection, and the vulnerability. And it comes to a point where this character ends up making important decisions. Like the narrative changes because of the people that he meets in this town off the grid. And that's the part that I really loved about Josie when I read her, even though she changed so much throughout the year that it took for us to shoot the actual movie. But the essence of what the character did to him in the sense of making him remember the values of family, the values of human connection, the reason why he's doing it, like to save this humanity, people like these, like this is the reason why I'm doing this, and creating this narrative with Johnny, and the fact that Johnny, even though in action movies you tend to pay more attention to the boys and the special effects and the chase and everything, but he really wanted to give just the right amount of attention and energy to this character and her role in the narrative and in the story and in his kind of story and in his heart, even though this is such a complex connection. It's not your usual sexual tension. I'm hot, you're hot, let's make out. Like, it's not about that. There's so many layers of complexity and of subtlety. It's a very sophisticated relationship. So the fact that we had to build from there meant that you had to add a lot of backstory to my character as well, because she's also hiding. She also has secrets. And that's also the reason why they connect in the first place. So even though she's there in very specific moments, I feel like there is so much that they let me create and play with through Josie to add so much more soul to the story and the film, and I really felt respected and valued in that way.
I love Josie when she came on screen. First of all, she's so
Thank you.
likable. She's like the kind of person you want to be friendly with. She's got this great, personality. So immediately I'm just liking this girl. I didn't know where it was going with her yet, but what I saw of her was so cool. So I felt almost like I don't know you, but I felt like that's you, I think. You know what I mean? I felt that's this girl. So is
Yeah.
that parts of your background and personality that you brought to that role that make us want to just be in your world and know more about you? I want to come to your cafe because you're
Oh,
so like, oh,
for
do this and
thank you
I love
so
the
much.
fire
First
that
of
I
all,
saw.
thank you because you're saying, yeah, I mean, you're talking about how much of my essence is in there and you're saying such beautiful things to me. I mean, it's kind of redirected to who I am because definitely there's a lot of my essence in this character towards the end because the character was Italian, then Spanish, then she was from Mississippi. I had to learn the accent, I had to get involved with their culture, but then they just they just wanted me to bring my essence, but this was a decision like on the spot the day that I was shooting. So of course the tools that I had to redesign this character to bring this Colombian girl to life had to do with my background. Of course I had to make up a lot of stuff. I'm not running. I don't have deep secrets like that. I mean, I have a couple, but you know what I mean. I had to create a new version of me and bring that Latino flavor and that little extra and the tough love, because if you see her, she's kind of like this vortex, like she just holds the community together and she gives them tough love, and she's almost motherly towards all the guys and the drunks in the bar and the this and the that. She's very involved in the community, and that's why she's so intrigued by this new person that's joining her family with apparent like no reason. So it was just a lot to play with, but definitely towards the end, I had to bring a lot of Maria Elisa to the table in order to kind of reconfigure Josie. And I was so happy to be able to do that. Johnny even like let me improvise so much. Not only let me not force me, but I had to create these backstories that I had to make up like on the spot. And I kind of I love that about this movie. It really put me like I had to be on my toes and I had to show them that I was ready for this because this is my first American movie. Am I ready? Do I have what it takes to bring the level? And through the fact that I had to redesign the character and I had to improvise, I I had the opportunity to show them and especially show myself that I was ready for it. So it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of pressure. I ended up every day just like dead. I slept like a baby those days.
You have such an expressive face, right? Like your emotions are there. I could, you saw those emotions, and there's a moment, without spoiler alerts, of course, where you see her just like, I have to be taking control. I've got to be there. I've got to pitch in. I've got to do what I got to do. And then you see this machismo comes out in her, right? Which is so cool, And I really love that you brought layers to her. And I think it made the film, it was a good film, but I think your presence in it made it warm at the same time strong, if that makes sense. I
Oh
feel
my
like
God. It does. And I'm just so touched by what you're saying. I hadn't gotten these comments before. And that was everything that we were aiming for. Like, that was what Johnny and I would talk about and would kind of, create together. Like, we wanted to bring that to the table and we wanted to have this strong female presence that was not just like, oh, the damsel in distress, but actually had like a mission here and a purpose. And definitely that fire. I mean, that was one of the words that Johnny, the director, used the most. Like, I need to see that fire in your eyes. And from the first audition, that was all that he cared about, like what he saw in my eyes. So we worked a lot, like of course I am a little like that, but we really worked on sometimes there were not enough words for her to express what she was feeling, so we just had to bring it through the eyes. And it's so cool that you captured that and you felt it because that was the whole mission. So I'm at peace now that you're saying that. And I really hope the audience can feel that as well. But if you felt it, it's out there. So now I can be happy about the results.
I did, and I love at the particular scene where she says this, and you know what she's saying about the person is not pleasant. But I just wish I knew what it was because I just love the way she did it. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. I could see me doing that. I was like, I like this girl.
It's crazy because I mean I really hope Colombians can watch it because even in Spanish, these are some of the words that I say are not they're like Colombian slang. So Mexicans are not gonna understand. I mean, nowadays, I guess because of Narcos and a lot of like crazy Colombian shows, people are more familiar with Colombian terms, but not that much. It's a very local way that she expresses herself, like very Colombian. So that's also a cool thing that they allowed me without even finding out or kind of verifying. They were like whatever your character would say because she's so upset and she's really frustrated. And when you're from someplace and you're so upset, you're just thinking aloud. And I'm like, okay, if I'm thinking aloud and I don't want to be stereotyped and say rayos cielos or all these things that just cartoons will say, and if you're gonna let me say what my character would truly say, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. What I didn't know is they were gonna keep it. So I'm like super excited, and I really hope. I mean, the important thing is what you're saying that you felt, even though you didn't even understand it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's the whole point. Everything else, Colombians are gonna be very appreciative of the fact that these are real local terms.
And the cool thing is, I didn't have to understand it, but I got it. You know what I mean? I just, I
That's it.
got it, but I got that feeling. So
That's then I rest my case, mission accomplished. That's the whole point. And that's really cool because sometimes there's a whole discussion about how we lack representation and how we're stereotyped because our characters might be designed by people who are not really, they don't have the real Latino background or Asian background or whatever. And we end up becoming these like very like almost like cartoonish versions of what we really are. So being able to do that and having them respect that and trust me, because this was an exercise of trust. Like they just believed because I know they didn't double check. And it's so cool that you're giving that big responsibility. And then you see that even Americans that are not familiarized can feel the authenticity. And that's the whole point. Just for me, my contribution to the American market via video games, I'm in Call of Duty as well, via off the grid or movies that I want to shoot in the future is bring sometimes, I mean, if I have to do an American character, amazing. I'll work, I mean, my guts off to portray it. But if I'm bringing the Latino flavor, I really want to represent with authenticity. So the fact that Josie has that is it's a dream come true as well.
And I just want to see more of you. Now that I know your work, I'm going to look at the burn one because I read the little thing about that. Oh my goodness. So I just love your look. I love what you did in this movie. I think it's great. What would you want us to take away from this film? I mean, it's got all these elements in it, but there's three things that you want the audience to come away with after watching Off the Grid, besides having the action and being like all tense and like, oh my God. What do you want us to take away?
I think it's about community. To me, that word is so important. It's determined what has like my motor, and I've chosen a career and a way of living my career where I've diversified, but that means a lot of loneliness, and I feel like this character comes with that, and there's something about the community that brings him back to life. I think the sense of community and valuing family has so much to do with that, to like to do with the moral of the story, like what I want people to come out feeling like, oh my God, like, yes, this is about change, something that has the potential of changing the world, but it really is about human connection and community. So hopefully, if people can feel like that and feel appreciative of what they have and get in touch with their own vulnerability, that would be a mission accomplished for sure.
Well, I enjoyed the film. Everybody was fantastic. I just really loved it. And you did an amazing job. And you have a fan in me. So I'm going to be following you in anything
Thank you
you
so
do.
much. You honor your name, Joy, and you brought
Oh,
joy to my life in this interview. Thank you for your super kind words and very accurate too. Like you really paid attention, and I really appreciate that.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, you just brought light to the screen, and everything you did was fabulous. And I loved the movie. So, yes, I
Hey,
can't wait to
thank you
see
so
more of
much.
you. Thank you so much for
Thank
chatting with me.
you.
I know we
Can't
went over
wait.
time, but I don't care. You're just amazing. So I can't wait to see more. Thank you
Gracias,
so much.
gracias.
You're welcome. Bye.